everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rahul and today we are going to start our episode number 2 of Williams Grand Prix career mode. So we are going to go lights out in Australia in this episode and choose the tire compounds for the race. I'm going with 5, 6, 7 sets of ultra softs, 5 sets of softs and 3 sets of mediums in case we have any incidents. So I'm going to go with the same tire selection with Latifi as well, and I've explained why I've gone with this setup. Basically, it doesn't matter what strategies we are going to play for the first couple of races, as our car is nothing but a kayak and we need to use a sail for stability. It's that bad. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be a strategic master because it doesn't matter. We'll be finishing last consistently anyways. We got a new brake in the last episode which Pady made, so I'm going to give it to Rusell and hope it works. And the better car would be given to Rusell for obvious reasons because he's a better driver. So let's go ahead and start the first race weekend of this season. So we are in Australia for the first practice session of the season. I'm going to send out our drivers on race trims because I think qualifying has little significance. So I'm going to focus more on race trims. I've set the car up. We have gone for 15.3 and 15.3 on the wings because Albert Park isn't a very downforce dependent circuit. Tire pressures are 21 and camber is at -2.0. We have gear ratios. We are going long on the gear ratios and focusing more towards somewhat between acceleration and top speed, and suspension wise we are setting the car up for oversteer. So we are going on super soft tires and we're going to send out our drivers for initially for race trims for 4 laps. So let's send out George Russell and then I'm going to do the same with Roy Nissany. Race trim, tire choice, super softs and go for 4 laps. So that's done. So for the first time this season our cars head out on the test track. So now we know whether we should keep Pady or not. Let's see what kind of feedback they give us so that we can alter our car setup and hopefully optimize the car for the qualifying session. So George Russell comes in this lap. He's happy with the downforce setup, so I'm not going to change the wing angles, but he's not happy with the suspension of the car. So I think we can move a little towards understeer and we'll see if that is what he wants by send him out on another run. I think we'll go with another stint of 4 laps on super soft tires. Right now we have close to level 2 super soft skills and race trim knowledge. So hopefully by the end of another 4 lap stint we'll be good on race trim, then we can focus on qualifying trim. I'm going to go ahead and send him out, and as I say that, Roy Nissany is back. He is not too happy with the downforce or the handling of the car, so I'm going to reduce the downforce for Nissany, bring it to maybe 15 and see what he has to say. And I think for Nissany we are going to increase and move towards understeer. These things you never know, you gotta experiment and see what the driver likes. So we'll do that and we'll send him out on another 4 lap race trim. So basically George Russell has come in and we have got the maximum race trim knowledge we can. So I'm going to go ahead and in the time remaining we are going to practice some qualifying stints. I'm not going to focus too much on the qualifying sessions because we are going to not make it out of Q1 for the initial days. So it's more logical that we focus more on a race trim. Roy Nissany comes in and he's very happy with the handling and the speed balance. So I'm happy that we sorted those two things out. But however, he's not so happy about the downforce setup. We can tweak it a little, but I mean, we are in a Williams car and we are anyways going to finish last, even if we have 97 setup satisfaction for the drivers. So I don't really care. Let's let him just get on with his qualifying trim, and we're going to send him out now. So we finished the session with level 1 qualifying knowledge. I'm not too gutted because it doesn't matter. And let's go ahead and start our Saturday's qualifying session. Here are the results from the pre-practice session. We have Lewis Hamilton first and Charles in second, Valtteri in third, Vettel in fourth, and the Renault looks faster than the Red Bull. And we finished 13th and 14th. We finished so high up that right now I'm having a nosebleed. So now we are starting off the qualifying session, not that it matters for us. I'm just waiting for the track to get rubbered in, which seems to happen after 8 minutes. So I'm going to send these guys out right about now. And by the time they are on their out lap and flying lap, I think it will be properly rubbered in. We're going to send out Latifi first because he can tow Rusell, and I don't think Latifi is in the better car or is fast enough. Latifi comes around to start the first flying lap of our qualifying session, and I think he's going around the first few corners alright, and we are already 1.1 seconds off the pace, and it's just sector 1. So pretty much it looks like our car is slower than a lawnmower at the minute, and now we are 2 seconds behind the pace. The cutoff for the Q1 session is 2.49, and we end up 3.65 seconds off the pace, and Rusell ends up 3.76 seconds off the pace. So basically we have a lot of work to do, and this car is just like a kayak without no stability, moving around, whirling around. I don't even think this is faster on the straights, and Pady Lowe has successfully designed another crap car. So we now come in. I'm going to send them out when it's almost close to 1. Yeah, I think now would be a good time to send them out for the second stint. Hopefully we can do slightly better. I mean, we can't do any worse because we are 3 seconds off the pace. So let's see how this run goes. Nicholas Latifi comes around the final corner and starts his second flying lap. So last time around he was 1.1 seconds off the pace in the first sector, and let's see if he shows any sort of improvement. He does. He is 1.021 seconds off the pace. That is some sort of an improvement. George Russell is close to 2 seconds off the pace in the second sector. Both our drivers are improving. Let's see if they can finish any better. No, Latifi can't, and Russell finishes 20th behind one of the, I don't know which team is Massa driving for, Alpine Racing. That's not even a team on the grid. So imaginary teams are beating us right now. That's how bad the situation is at Williams. So this is our starting grid for this race. We have Valtteri Bottas on pole, so he's clearly continued his Australian magic, and I think he had a porridge this morning. We have Lewis Hamilton starting behind him. He's 1/10 of a second behind Bottas. We have Vettel, and the Ferrari is almost 2/10 behind the Mercs, with Sebastian Vettel in third and Charles in fourth. We have Verstappen in fifth, but based on all the build-up Red Bull gave, I thought they would be doing better. Then we have Ricciardo in sixth, the Aston Martin of Sergio Perez in seventh. We have Alexander Albon in eighth, and the McLaren in ninth, with Lance Stroll in 10th. So that pretty much winds up the top 10 positions, and let's go lights out in Australia. The 5 lights are underway and the Australian GP is started. So Rusell gets a good start and he gets overtaken by one of the Manor cars, and he makes a huge dive bomb on the inside and tries to overtake Kvyat, which he has. So after 2 fucking long years, Williams have actually overtaken a car on track. So I'm already going to pop my champagne bottle out, although we are going to lose that position in another 5 minutes. It's still an accomplishment, and I have done already way better than what Claire did 2 years with the team. So we're down to 18th place with George Russell, and Latifi is in 22nd place. We tried to go around the outside of the Alpha, and can we get this move made? No, we can't, because our car isn't having enough straight line speed. It looks like we put an auto engine in our car, and just as I say that, shit-faced Latifi has an incident. So he's broken his front wing and suspension. I knew he was a bad driver, and this just justifies it. It's the first race of the season, mate. You're already in dead last position at 21st, and then you go and bang your car. Well done, well done. So this is the reason why I got along some medium tires. We're going to fix these things, the broken wing and the suspension, and we're going to send him out on medium tires. I think it should last till the end of the race. So we're going to make a pit stop with Latifi, and he's pretty much dead last at the minute, and fortunately he's not been penalized, so that's a good thing. As I say that, there's an incident between Carlos Sainz and Ocon, and Sainz has a broken front wing. Raikkonen has also been involved in an incident with, I don't know, probably our car of George Russell, and he's broken his front wing, but we don't have any investigations going on in that aspect, so I don't really mind, and that's one free position for us. Daniel Ricciardo has crashed just as I say that, and his home race curse continues. So Latifi is running in dead last, and his tires are punctured, and he's coming in. So let's see what sort of a pit stop it's going to be. It's been a decent pit stop, and they're repairing the parts, so it's taking some time, and he's good to go. So basically Latifi is going to be last for some time, so I'm not going to focus much on him. Let's see what George is doing. He's up to 15th place in the Williams and chasing after the Alpha Tauris, the 2 Alpha Tauris. So I mean, finishing anything above 15th or 15th itself is a great achievement in this car, so I won't be too gutted. Let's see how it goes. We're gonna try and overtake Kvyat. I have maximized the engine mode, and George Russell's crashed out of the Australian Grand Prix, and he's hit the barrier, and that's it for us. So Russell is out of the race, and Latifi is running in 23rd position, and there's no safety car yet. So pretty much this race went from shit to, I don't know what's worse than shit. So the first race of the season has been a terrible disaster for us, and Latifi is still in 22nd position. I don't know if we can finish any higher than 22nd with this shit face. And also Russell has crashed, so I don't have any words to say. Maybe the car did not have stability, or maybe Pady Lowe's new brakes failed. There's no way to say here at Williams. So it's lap number 10, and we are already getting lapped by Vettel, who has taken the lead from the Mercedes, except for us getting lapped by the front runners, and there goes Verstappen, the Mercedes, and I think that's the only overtaking action we're gonna watch all afternoon, because there's no one behind us. We are running dead last, and we are in 21st position now because someone quit. So pretty much this race is finished in the first 12 laps itself. So it's lap number 23, we are halfway into the race, and we are still in 22nd position. and we haven't overtaken anyone. We got lapped more times than Ambassador running on 3 wheels. So I'm just, sitting back and having a drink, because that's how the race is going to finish now. Not too bothered, just trying to maintain the tire temperature, and that's it. The next car ahead is 9 seconds apart, so there's no way we can cover that good gap, especially with the Williams car. I guess this was fairly obvious for Williams, and I mean, we are only carrying the legacy of Claire forward. I mean, when we were like in 13th position or 14th position with George Russell, I got a nosebleed, so that fixed itself up now. So on the bright side of things, we are dead bottom, and we can just go home like nothing happened. The positive from this race is the car seems to be easy on fuel, so hopefully that plays to our advantage when we are competitive. I don't know when that is going to be, or if at all we are going to be competitive, and let's hope for the best. But right now all these cars that are passing us are lapping us actually, so it's not for position. Vettel is leading the race, and he is 5 seconds clear of Hamilton, who is on medium tires, and I think he's going to go to the end of the race with these tires. Leclerc is third, who is being chased down by Verstappen in fourth and Bottas in fifth. Albon is in a disappointing P14, and I'm sure tomorrow morning he's going to get a call from Marco. Meanwhile, we have Norris in 6th place and Sainz in 10th, so McLaren are going to make some decent points in the first race of the season. So are Aston Martin, who are their direct rivals for 4th in the Constructors this season. Ocon is 8th, and that's mainly because he's not fit yet, and Ricciardo had already crashed out of the race. So the midfield battle seems good, but we are not part of it, so there's nothing much happening in our POV. Ericsson has come in for another set of super softs, so we are up to 21st position. Hopefully I'll try to keep him behind, but at this point I really don't care. So we have a safety car coming out because Giovinazzi has crashed, and that's the third crash of the afternoon. So basically our motto this season is to gain positions by people who have not finished the race or have crashed out, because the likelihood of us ever overtaking 2-3 cars is as popular as Salman Khan being a virgin, so that's not going to happen. And Giovinazzi has crashed, so we have a safety car, and I mean, what can you do now? You can chuck on a set of Ultrasofts, but what's it really gonna change? I'm just gonna make a pit stop for the sake of it. It's not like we are in a top 10 car to maybe go for the fastest lap, but you know what, let's just do it. I mean, finishing 21st is just as bad as finishing 22nd, so I really don't care at this point of time. Let's go ahead and make the pit stop. We come in, and that's a good pit stop by Williams, so at least something works in this team. We are out in 20th position, so I think that position was gained because of Giovinazzi crashing out, and I'm confident that we are going to keep out Ericsson, who's behind us. I'm going to go and conserve our tires because we are under safety car. So the safety car is coming in this lap. I'm going to go attacking and on overtake mode. Let's see if we can make up any sort of places up, although we're going to get blue flagged immediately because we have all the front runners in front of us or behind us. Let's see. It really doesn't matter. Maybe we can consolidate P20 because of that pit stop, but other than that, our race was over in lap 10 itself, and someone just went wide over there. We got lapped, and lapped and lapped. I even got lost count of how many times that happened. So at this point of time, I'm like, fuck this shit. As I say that, Perez has had an incident and he's coming to the pits, and Norris is under investigation and he has a broken front wing. So I think they both crashed into each other or something, and our car is somewhere in the picture, but we are definitely a lap down, don't forget that. So we are on the final lap of the race and we are pretty much in 20th position. Hamilton has overtaken Vettel, and Vettel got overtaken by Leclerc, so I think Vettel spun, which is not something new. And Hamilton is going to win the first race of the season as he crosses the line. We have Leclerc in second, Vettel in third, Verstappen finishes fourth, Bottas is fifth, Sainz finishes sixth with his McLaren, Ocon seventh, Grosjean eighth, bringing points home with a broken front wing, so he pretty much crashed or something, and Perez gets 1 point. So overall it was a good race. Anyways, so we finish in P20. So here are the race results. Lewis Hamilton won the race, Leclerc finished second, Sebastian Vettel third, and although Carlos Sainz got a drive-through penalty, he finished sixth. Ocon also got a 10 seconds penalty. We finished in 20th position with a drive-through penalty which Nicholas Latifi got earlier on when he broke his front wing and suspension. Rusell crashed, so we were 2 laps down on the whole grid. I don't know, man. This car is slower than a tortoise and I have no idea how we are gonna improve it. Constructors wise, we are dead last. I'm not surprised, and I think Aston Martin picked up the first points of the season, so they're in 8th. Alpha Tauri with 2 points, Haas with 4 points, Grosjean finished in a pretty lofty position, Renault has 6 points, McLaren have 8 points, Red Bull are 3rd, which is not surprising, and then the gap between Mercedes and Ferrari is somewhat fair after the first round of the 16 round 2020 calendar. I'm hopeful that maybe the fight at the top might be closer than what's happening in the bottom. We are last and I'm not too surprised about it. Someone just tweeted out that Williams Grand Prix are awesome. I don't know if that person is smoking weed or is brain dead, or I don't even know what that person is doing right now. And someone wants to see us on the top. Some fan has tweeted it out, so probably she's going to have to wait for her grandkids for that to happen. That's pretty much it for the first race of the season. I'm sorry it was disappointing, but there was very little I could do. So hopefully we have a better race when we go lights out in Dubai next week, and we'll be getting our engine done. So I'm hoping for slightly better things. So basically I'm pretty sure we crashed out because Paddy's brakes stopped working. Hopefully I'll try to make sure that the brakes he builds the next time around are somewhat reliable. So guys, take care, and I hope you like my content. Like, share and comment, and I'll see you next time around. Stay home and stay safe.